guys, welcome back to Clockwork Noodles for another breakdown of Shadow's House Season 2, Episode number 9. Before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. The end of season review is coming your way very shortly. I'm going to have my top 3 anime of the season in that video. Go and check out that video when it does come out to see if Shadow's House makes it onto that list. After that video, I am bringing you my full review where I tell you guys what's coming your way next season, what anime is coming our way, what do we have to look forward to, and what am I breaking down on my channel. Let's dive straight to it because this is one hell of a info dump when it comes to an anime episode. We learn a lot. We also learn the severity of the situation that we're really in. Mary Rose has orchestrated Rosemary's sickness by request. It was because she asked her to do this. It wasn't a simple case of this is this collateral damage. Mary Rose doing these things and Rosemary gets caught up in the mix. Rosemary and Mary Rose are a team, a unit. They are both in on it. They know what they're doing. In their actions, still doomed the Bells to face endless torment until one of the dolls maybe breaks. Mary Rose has been invited to the grandfather's house. She's finally received her invitation to become an adult. I don't know if this is the first time the dolls are hearing about the merging. I think it might be because I think we, the audience, only know about the merging because we've seen Edward. We've seen Edward do it, and I don't think anybody was looking at Edward at the time he was playing the piano when it initially happened. This is a rug pull for everybody. The merging ceremony, what is actually adulthood, becoming an adult, where the shadow snuffs out the human life. They end up taking over the human form and the living doll ends up perishing and becoming nothing more than just a vessel. Mary Rose's ability is to control scorchers, and that allowed her to have some form of hope to be able to escape. All this time, she has been looking for a way to escape. She does not want to become one. She wants to keep Rosemary as a person. If she is to survive, Rosemary shouldn't have to perish. Existence and continuation of life shouldn't rely on Rosemary. Her goal now is to locate others of like minds, perhaps escape, although it seems more that she's more on the escape train as opposed to locating others of like minds, because she does technically find others of like minds, but then she goes all out on trying to attack them. So some of her words don't quite line up with her actual actions. We do see that the Starbearers are the ones who present Mary Rose with her invitation, which means we were lied to in the last episode, as I believe we were told that they had no part in the invitation process. They didn't know if there was an invitation or not, whether they just believed that they're sending her a letter or not. I think a smart doll or a shadow would at least be able to put 2 and 2 together and work out what they're giving Mary Rose, because she's been there quite some time. Rug pull this week that the entrance that we have believed is the entrance to the real world, it's a lie. It leads to a cliff, just nothingness. Entrance is nothing more than just an illusion to create the idea that you can get out, but you actually can't get out, which is quite strange. It does make me wonder how the shadows have been leaving to gather children, but I believe they could be through the grandfather's wing. So you can only get out truly if you are merged, and by that point you're no longer a living doll. You don't actually bear a threat or anything because you're fully under the grandfather's control. Mary Rose and Rosemary have given up. During our little speech where we have Rosemary calling the guys together, and she's actually calling Lou very intelligent, Mia as well, she does say she'd make a very good, strong next leader. It's because she has given up, and this next action, annoyingly, it does irritate me and I don't think I can forgive her for it. But it's because she has realised that the ending is just a sad loneliness where you lose your one and true ally. To Mary Rose, her true ally is Rosemary, and if she is to go across, she's going to lose her. But I can't forgive her for hurting Emilico and Sean. They end up getting attacked by scorchers, therefore getting the sickness, which is probably going to put them out of commission. It might also rid Kate of a bit of a suspicion indirectly. It might actually put her in a better place because they would be like, Kate wouldn't hurt Emilico, so there's no way she would do this. So it's a possibility that actually might indirectly get her off the hook for a little bit. But it's just the way that she does it. She lures them over by, this is me being friendly. No, I'm going to attack you. And that is when both Mary Rose and Rosemary seem to allude that this is now going to be the final act. Whatever is about to occur is the final act because a second invitation is going to occur. They're about to do something to prevent themselves from going over. And I guess if your scorchers and your phantoms aren't working, they're going to have to get bigger. Doesn't bode well. And I'm starting to get some very bad feelings and suspicions where the cliffhanger might be. I just got a feeling that that cliffhanger might be a bit more literal for some reason. I've got really bad vibes this week. It is quite sad because it does seem that both Rosemary and Mary Rose don't really care about the other people. They just care about themselves and getting themselves out of there, which I understand why they're doing it. But in the same sense, you're going about it in a wrong situation. And that might just be down to desperation, because I think even Kate says, even with all of her powers, she herself can't get a way out. She is also powerless. They're going about things in a way that I would see as just wrong, careless, selfish, but I understand why they're doing it. Mary Rose's powers, she is able to create scorches from soot, just anybody's soot, doesn't have to be her own soot, covers for her lack of soot. So we know she has a lack of soot. She's not gifted in volume, but she's able to create scorches from other people's powers. And I am very confused to why she's not able to just use this giant phantom to escape. Just climb over the wall and run away. I don't understand why she can't just escape, because those walls are pretty high. Maybe the phantom, now being extremely big, is able to get over. I also do wonder why nobody is coming to see what's going on. Nobody is being woken up by the rumblings. It does make me worry that nobody's going to find Emidiko and John, and those guys are sick right now. And I think it is a case that you have to act very quickly. And I understand it's a hopeless, desperate situation, but you have just hurt Emidiko and John. And if they aren't found by a veiled doll or somebody, they too could be sick. They could break in a worst case situation, which is going to be harming other people, other innocent people. A happy moment for me this week as well, as Edward does make a reappearance. I love his design. I love his voice actor. I think he's quite cool. I love the way that he dresses. I know Louise hates the way that he dresses. He's very unfashionable. It is great because he is back, and we do get some information from him. Still wondering why nobody is being alerted to the giant phantom roaming the grounds. We get some information on the warden of the children's ward, and we do also get to see the old former warden called Thomas. He has been removed from the role. I believe this is something down to the people who go into merging. If they don't merge or they don't succeed, it ends up being like a strike on the warden. Pressure on the warden to make sure that the people you're inviting are actually going to succeed and become merged. Edward's role is also in charge of welcoming the newcomers, or the welcoming as they call it, which I believe is the welcoming of a merged being, a merged creation. I think that's what that essentially means. Some interesting information this week as well is Edward knows who Mary Rose is. He's aware of Mary Rose, and he even remembers Mary Rose as being very successful, somebody who was really, really good at all of their trials. So he wants to know what happened since they have turned into adults. What's occurred since I've become an adult? Why is she still not here? Why is she never being sent across? And he does lament that the system where the adults cannot interact with the children's ward needs to be changed. And I do agree. Obviously, this is bad for our kids if this happens. But if you're thinking it from a logical perspective for a moment, pretend you are the grandfather. You having no access to the young, having this rule actually exists, result in exactly what we're seeing happening. We're seeing Mary Rose getting enough time to work out the truths. Kate is starting to rebel. Having this rule where you can't actually interact and you've got no say in what's going on with the future of your house, it seems like it doesn't make sense. Edward is essentially correct in his deductions that this rule needs to change. Things are starting to occur. Edward suspects that Mary Rose is going to fail. She's going to fail her merging. Something has happened since they left. So since we left, they've had time to do something. Something is occurring. Maybe Mary Rose is infatuating people like Kate with the idea of freedom and trivial things. Let's go on to the gruesome final sequence, the merging, and what happens if the merging goes horrifically wrong, that Mary Rose is doomed to fail. Edward believes she's going to fail, so she's going to basically die. I don't understand why she's not climbing that wall ASAP with that phantom right now. The box of death for 2 weeks in a cocoon where the soot powers are forced within a living doll. They end up taking over the body. The living doll is snuffed out and therefore dead by the end of everything. The true horrors of the Shadow's house. Force of merging is more gruesome than I even imagined. I wondered if it was just a case that they would just kind of merge. They are literally trapped together, forced into one being. Sadly, the living doll does not come out alive. Mary Rose and Rosemary's last showdown. What are they going to do? How are they going to escape? I still think they should be climbing that wall with a phantom. What is Kate going to do? How are we even going to be able to come up with a method to save everything, to put an end to the Shadow's house? Right now, I don't can't even see a way forward. It seems like the grandfather is running a pretty tight ship where everything seems very systematic, aside this one rule that is preventing them from having any interactions with the kids. So that's the only one I could think of that if he wants to improve, he could get rid of that and make it basically near impossible forever for have anyone actually escape. I do just get the bad feeling that I think Mary Rose and Rosemary are gonna go out in a blaze of glory, but I can't back myself up. I just got this feeling that something bad is gonna happen and I don't like it. And we're only 2 episodes away from an ending now. So we definitely gonna go out in a blaze of glory. It's gonna be our cliffhanger. I can't wait to see where this story goes. It's getting darker and darker. I love the vibe. I love the characters. I love the premise. So I really can't wait to see what happens next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Make sure you guys tune in next week to see even more Shadow's House goodness. We've only got 2 episodes left. It's all coming to an end now, so I'm going to be very sad when there's no more Shadow's House. I really hope we get a season 3. I really hope that we'll get a green light on season 3. We will see. Thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.